What were the key events in the civil rights movement? When we think about the American civil rights movement, we often picture powerful moments that changed the course of history. So, what were the key events that shaped this transformative period from 1954 to 1968? Let's take a closer look at these significant milestones. The journey began with the landmark case of Brown versus Board of Education in 1954. The United States Supreme Court ruled that racial segregation in public schools was unconstitutional. This decision overturned the separate but equal doctrine and marked a legal turning point in the fight for equality. Next, in 1955, the Montgomery Bus Boycott took center stage. After Rosa Parks was arrested for refusing to give up her seat, African Americans in Montgomery, Alabama, organized a year-long boycott of the bus system. This powerful act of nonviolent protest led to a federal court ruling that declared bus segregation unconstitutional. In 1957, the Little Rock Nine made headlines when 9 African American students attempted to integrate Little Rock Central High School in Arkansas. They faced violent opposition, prompting President Dwight D. Eisenhower to federalize the Arkansas National Guard to ensure their safety. This event highlighted the need for federal intervention in the fight for civil rights. The Greensboro Sit-Ins in 1960 showcased the courage for Black college students who staged a sit-in at a segregated Woolworth's lunch counter in North Carolina. Their peaceful protest sparked a wave of similar actions across the South, demonstrating the power of youth activism. In 1961, the Freedom Rides took place. Activists rode interstate buses into the segregated South to challenge the non-enforcement of Supreme Court rulings banning segregation in interstate travel. They faced violent attacks, drawing national attention and prompting federal action to enforce desegregation. The Birmingham Campaign in 1963 featured a series of demonstrations, including the Children's Crusade. Images of police using fire hoses and dogs against peaceful protesters shocked the nation, increasing public support for civil rights legislation. Later that year, the March on Washington drew over 200,000 people to demand jobs and freedom. Martin Luther King Jr.'s "I Have a Dream" speech became a defining moment, symbolizing the movement's aspirations and its appeal to America's democratic ideals. In 1964, the Civil Rights Act was passed, outlawing discrimination based on race, color, religion, sex, or national origin. This landmark legislation ended segregation in public places and banned employment discrimination, marking a major victory for the movement. The Selma to Montgomery marches in 1965 were critical in the fight for voting rights. Protesters faced violent resistance on Bloody Sunday, leading to the passage of the Voting Rights Act of 1965, which prohibited racial discrimination in voting. Finally, the assassination of Martin Luther King Jr. in 1968 marked a tragic end to an era of nonviolent protest. His legacy continues to inspire activism and remains central to discussions about civil rights. These key events illustrate how the civil rights movement was a defining chapter in American history. They reflected the core values of liberal ideology, emphasizing individual rights and the importance of collective action. The movement's achievements continue to influence the ongoing struggle for equality and justice in America today.